because NSYNC had 3 very popular albums that made an incredible impact. Backstreet Boys had, I don't know, a dozen that no one gives a shit about and are still making albums and no one cares or wants to know. And I guess Jade went to the concert because she was bored and probably got it for free.
No, I'm sorry. You rather have a little sprint than a marathon?
I would actually rather have quality over quantity, actually, because I feel like I really enjoy NSYNC's music.
But
and I enjoy Backstreet Boys music
the Backstreet
too.
Boys are actual musicians.
They're still making
music. All they know how to do is make music and be amazing, iconic humans.
They both went to Sweden.
If they're musicians, then why the music ain't hitting? And why we don't hear none of their hits?
You're not listening to it. I would rather not be as famous and be an incredible harmonious boy band than to be whatever.
I'm glad that we agree that they're not as famous as NSYNC, thus winning the battle.
Every NSYNC song sounds the same.
You think so?
Yeah.
Alyssa.
They all sound the same.
What
they
two
all
NSYNC
blur
songs sound
together.
alike?
All of them.
You know what? I have a specific question for you.
Here's what it sounds like to me.
It's this. If you're watching the video, I can't see the lyrics. Alyssa, there is a song on the NSYNC album entitled God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You.
Yeah.
You were a little Christian girl, okay?
But God doesn't do that. He spends the same amount of time on everybody.
Yeah.
No.
And that's wrong theology.
But if he did choose someone.
Alyssa liked that song growing up.
I want to be special, damn it.
And it's true. And I know I'm special, but I don't want to be. And unfortunately I am. But God spends the same amount of time on everybody.
No, she liked that song growing up. Admit that you liked it.
Improper theology.
Brian
Littrell is a Christian.
Who is that?
The lead of the Backstreet Boys.
Some sort of heart survivor. I don't know, girl.
Which one is Joey Fatone?
Joey Fatone is from the NSYNC.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Joey Fatone's pretty fun.
Isn't that the one you dressed up as?
No, I dressed as Brian.
Oh, Kirkpatrick.
Chris Kirkpatrick. You could get your ass kicked.
Because I'm sorry, braces and like dreads on a white guy.
But listen, every single NSYNC member is just a little bit of a clone of Backstreet Boys. That's why it's like hard for me to even have this conversation with you guys.
It's like an edgier version.
It's like an edgier version of it.
Yeah,
and so yeah, sure, maybe they're a little bit better because they got to kind of copy. It's like, okay, copycats. I'm an original.
Okay, but this argument is a little Christina.
Can I ask the audience something?
Yeah.
We both know that Backstreet Boys and NSYNC have both been out. They both came out around the same time. But I want you guys to tell us in the comments, who do you think made more of an impact? Because NSYNC was around for a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
Versus the Backstreet Boys. So who had more of an impact?
Let's talk about cultural moments.
And let's also talk about how Justin Timberlake is an evil Brian Littrell.
Okay. Let's talk about cultural moments. Okay. They've both been interviewed in multiple magazines.
Which also,
I think VMA moments Backstreet Boys had.
I think
because I remember NSYNC having some VMA moments.
Took their spot, I think, and also someone backstage like confused them. They're the same band, but
I mean,
see, to me, they're not the same band at all. That's just my opinion. They're very different to me. They may have been constructed the same way, but I feel like the output, the result is very.
I take
different
that back. They're not the same band.
I don't think they're the same band at all. They don't even dress alike to me.
Here's what I want to say. My best friend growing up, Leah Slovin, shout out Leah. We would be we'd have sleepovers in her back room, all the girls. And I feel like when NSYNC came out, we were like, this is us. Like, we relate to this. We relate to the style, the dancing. Like, I never was on the Backstreet Boys train. But we would have sleepovers and we would make up dances to Bye Bye Bye.
That's powerful.
We would make up dances to like all of these different songs. And that's like what it was about. Do you know what I mean?
I wasn't dancing to Backstreet Boys. Everybody know this.
Yeah.
We don't know what the hell they're doing over there wearing all white in the airport.
Feel like
I don't know what they're doing.
I was able to learn. I remember when the Backstreet Boys came out and everybody was like, oh my gosh, Brian's so hot, Brian's so hot. And I didn't necessarily think that. I was more into Howie.
She said, that goddamn ponytail got me.
I remember being like, is that okay that I'm into Howie? And you know what? Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like, which flavor do you like?
That was important for me.
Because at that time, think about it, it wasn't like the Monkees. It wasn't like, the Beatles. We're coming out of like that era of like serious musicians. And we're like, you know what? Put down those instruments. Thrust your hips and make these girls
that ass on an old baby track
was a boy band era.
It was.
And it also started 98 Degrees.
O-Town.
Hanson, like you said.
O-Town. Yeah. And we don't remember those guys. So, hey, they were the top two. How about that?
It created this whole like boy band frenzy. Like we were watching a video earlier where it was live concert of NSYNC, and then it would cut to these girls' embraces, literally sobbing at the
single
concert,
tear
and it
moment.
created this crazy Beatles fandom.
That's what's called listomania.
I think it's just
it's when people
something
get obsessive about.
There's a quick little factoid I want to give, and I'll let the viewers kind of determine. At the 2000 VMAs, Kid Rock said that he liked NSYNC's commercial better than Backstreet Boys' commercial for Burger King. So if Kid Rock is on your side, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
And I just think that that's something for everybody.
You
to
drinking
think about.
gasoline?
I just think no one's saying that Backstreet Boys is better ever. No one's ever saying that. So it's just you have a bunch of
he said the opposite.
Proof points.
No, Kid Rock said that he liked NSYNC better.
better.
But I'm saying, but do you want Kid Rock to be on your team? That's like saying
I want anyone on my team that has taste.
Look,
and clearly
do
Kid
you
Rock
think
has
Kid
it.
Rock?
When it comes to music and boy bands, yeah,
What?
absolutely.
I don't know. When it comes to maybe motorcycles and
No, you know what? Kid Rock was very much himself, and we will give him that. And people that like NSYNC are very much we're ourselves. We're not trying to be anybody else. We're not any.
You're trying to be just like
I'm
your
not
Backstreet
showing
Boys,
up
but
to
a
the
little
hospital because
different.
you had heart surgery.
and
No.
I'll be there. Yes, Backstreet Boys to me.
I'll be the one.
Those are the guys that are going to be there for you when you're at the hospital because face it or not, or
They're too busy
believe
being
it or
on
not,
tour,
you're
y'all.
going to have something happen to you one
They'll
day
bring
where
you
you're going to need
flowers.
something. And do you think Justin Timberlake's going to come to the hospital? No, Brian Littrell would come to the hospital for you.
Again, I'm sorry.
This is my opinion. This is
Who are these people, Alyssa? This is
guys-
Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. Who are you talking about?
Brian is the lead singer of the Backstreet
Brian
Boys.
is the hot one with the brown hair and the eyebrows.
I know that you know who he is.
Yeah, we know who he is, but we just don't care.
What
If
do
you
mean,
guys
who
can
are you
name
talking
all
about?
the members of Backstreet Boys, can you please hop down in the comments and please listen
Everybody
to us?
can.
We're a
Everybody
little
can.
lost.
I have to say, you guys,
I
this
don't know all
concert,
the
it was
NSYNC.
insane. It was on
Yeah.
Risers, and there's just a bunch of 30-year-old women going through perimenopause, jumping. I thought the Risers were gonna. I thought that's how I was gonna die.
You
That's
go
how
through
excited.
Perimenopause at 30?
In the late 30s, yeah.
Whoa.
We should do a show about that. It's really
Why?
important. Anyway, perimenopause versus menopause. Which one sucks more? But it was I could feel how much these Backstreet Boys meant to these older women.
Yeah.
They wanted to them once upon a time, and they still do. Power this whole time since the 90s. That's pretty powerful.
I was reading about that, how there is that older woman, Backstreet Boys craze. Whereas I feel like the NSYNC fans were we know they're not gonna really get back together.
I know, but will they?
And,
won't they?
have
That's
another
exciting.
album. But don't you think it's kind of weird that the Backstreet Boys have never technically retired? That's kind of weird.
No, they're
How is
still
that weird?
working.
That's
It's
amazing.
incredible. The
What do you mean
longevity of a
that's
Because
career.
if they stop, it's
You guys,
a wrap.
they had a 2-year stint residency in Vegas. That's insane.
That's crazy
You know
that
who
y'all
else can
say
top
that
that?
because
Carrot
today
Top.
was the very first time that I heard that. If NSYNC had a residency, believe me, I would have been there
So
multiple
you're
times.
all about
But they
the
don't have
NSYNC then
one.
just fading away and all the other members being lost at sea and Justin Timberlake rising to fame. That to me is not a great
How about this?
representation
When
of
it comes to performances, right? So Ariana Grande had a choice, right? Whose song I'm gonna sample? Am I gonna sample a Backstreet Boys song, or am I gonna
But they
sample
didn't
an
write
NSYNC
that
song?
stuff.
Well, let him
It
finish.
doesn't matter.
Let him
She
finish.
decided not only to sample NSYNC, but to then have NSYNC come up on her stage at Coachella. Backstreet Boys were.
They were busy performing at their
busy.
residency
And
all
probably
together.
visiting
Because they're
people in
going
the
to be
hospital.
forgotten otherwise.